It's kind of funny because when I was a kid, doesn't like English at all. I say it's like an artificial thing. It's not like science where it's natural and like real, you know, like why do we need to follow all these stupid rules? Being a scientist to me is like the greatest career you can have because you are always doing something new, you're always thinking about the future, you're doing something that are helping other people. But then you combine that with scientific discovery and technology and all the excitement, the time machine, the Doraemon, the dinosaur, that's even more fun. I think all questions are valid, but I think one question that maybe we can sort of move beyond or think deeper about is whether the AI will replace human or not. If you think about replacement, you know, we have always been replaced by something, right? Like in the past, we ride a horse. Now we had a car, right? But we never stopped walking. I would say this is คำนี้ดี for me. This is the ultimate word for me.
Okay.
It was coined by two scientists, Manfred Klein and Nathan Klein, in 1960. They described human as a cyborg because of space exploration. The purpose of cyborg is not to make human into a machine or turn human into a robot, but to use this technology to help human be more human than ever.
And now that you have studied and worked closely with AI, do you have any fear left at all?
I'm not fear of artificial intelligence. I'm more afraid of artificial stupidity. Yeah.
Yeah.
คำนี้ดีกำลังมองหาเนิร์ด1อัตรามาร่วมทีมครับที่บอกว่าเนิร์ดเนี่ยแน่นอนก็คือเนิร์ดภาษาอังกฤษนะแล้วมันสำคัญยังไงใช่ไหมทำไมต้องเป็นเนิร์ดด้วยทุกคนครับโลกเราเนี่ยถูกขับเคลื่อนด้วยเนิร์ดนะครับเพราะว่าคนเหล่านี้คือคนที่รักแล้วก็หลงใหลในสิ่งที่เขาทำแบบที่สุดเลยแล้วก็อยู่กับสิ่งนี้ได้แบบ24ชั่วโมงอยากให้ทุกคนรอบตัวอินสิ่งนี้ไปกับเขาด้วยเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเกิดคุณรู้ตัวว่าเป็นเนิร์ดภาษาอังกฤษเก่งภาษาอังกฤษชอบทำคอนเทนต์หรือว่าเคยทำคอนเทนต์เกี่ยวกับภาษาอังกฤษมาแล้วเรามาคุยกันเลยครับคุณอาจจะเหมาะมากในการที่จะมาเป็นคอนเทนต์ครีเอเตอร์ที่ The Standard KND รายละเอียดอยู่ใต้คลิปนี้นะครับสมัครเข้ามาครับส่งผลงานมาดูกันมาเจอกันแล้วก็มาคุยกันมาร่วมงานกันนะครับ
Dr. PP, hi. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Very unmistakable because I'd be so disappointed if you're not wearing your famous dinosaur costume.
I think people are expecting that of me now.
Yes, yeah. Have you ever gone to anywhere without the costume and people like, why not the costume today?
Sometimes. But you know, it's interesting. I was in the restroom. I was thinking, you know, when I wear this, I feel more normal. If I don't wear this, then I don't feel normal anymore.
Where's my spikes?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like to be sort of weird a little bit.
Yeah.
And when I'm not weird, I feel like that is sort of the weird part of me.
I know. Weirdness is beautiful. We need weirdness in the world,
Think
right?
different, right?
Yeah, of course. How many of these do you have?
I have 4 of them.
4? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You mean in rotation that you keep like switching around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for coming to Comedy The Standard today.
I'm a fan of this show for a long time. So it's an honor to be here.
We're so glad. We're honored that we have you here today. Did you just fly in, right? Did you just?
Yes. Less than a week, actually. I can't remember when I arrived anymore, but I think 4 days ago. Yeah.
Right. Flying in from
Boston.
Yeah. Is that where you're based right now?
Yes. Well, technically MIT is in Cambridge, the fake Cambridge, not Boston.
Okay.
But you know, the Boston is the airport that we fly. So I usually say I'm from Boston.
Okay. All right. So you're based in at MIT.
Right.
Okay. Working full time there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just became a professor there.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So does it feel different at all from before?
Not at all.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I was a PhD student there, and then I was a postdoc, and then you know, I continue. So I already kind of doing all this kind of research and like managing all these sort of different projects and doing you know all the fun stuff.
Right.
Since I was a PhD student, so I think for me it's like a smooth transition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we get to talk to a scientist. We don't get to talk to a lot of scientists on our show, but some we have talked to some, and we always found those people very amazing. They are like very special.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope I don't disappoint you.
No, I don't think you will. Okay. So, what is it like to be a kid who had, I suppose, a clear dream of becoming a scientist?
Well, to me, I think like scientist is a career that I think a lot of kids actually imagine because like in the show, right, you have a scientist saving the day, fighting the bad guys.
Yes.
Right, like Iron Man is an innovator, technologist kind of.
Right.
Right. I grew up with Doraemon, and
Ooh.
Doraemon, right, is like a robot cat that was made by a scientist to help this little boy.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I feel like scientist is one of the career that you see a lot in like movies and cartoons, but it's a career that I think almost like a little bit imaginary. Like people don't know what it's like to be a scientist, especially in Thailand. But I think it's really different in the US because I think, there are many great scientists in the US, right? So for me, I always sort of have that dream, like after watching all these cartoons, maybe I'm too BL, I don't know. But I always like, think that, I think it's going to be fun to do something that are like impactful and something that are like very futuristic, like inventing stuff or, go and save dinosaurs or things like that. So for me, it was sort of clear that I want to have this sort of fun and adventurous career in the future, not like being a doctor or engineer. I mean, those are important, but for me as a kid, I think dinosaur and scientists like come together. So it was very clear for me as a kid. Yeah.
Right. So that's very interesting too. You love technology. You love being the idea of becoming a scientist, and at the same time you love dinosaurs.
Right.
So one representing the future and one representing the past. Right.
Right.
Yeah. That's kind of a cool mixture. I like it. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, if you watch Doraemon, right, there's a time machine that allows you to travel to the past, and then to the future.
Right.
And I think for me, sort of the weirdness of it or the experience of being a little bit different. I think that's the thrill for me. Especially like I grew up in Pattani, right? And at that time when I was there, it was very safe, but it was really like peaceful and calm. And I always like look out through the windows, like, okay, when will my adventure begin? And for me, the cartoon and all of these was sort of my childhood fantasy and the thing that sort of keep me going when I was a kid.
Yeah. So the first time you love the idea of the technology and the futuristic stuff is when you read Doraemon, right?
Right.
So was it Jurassic Park for you when you first realized your love for dinosaurs, or even before that?
Well, my parents told me that I first saw a dinosaur when I was like a baby. I don't think I even recognized it, but my grandmom put a dinosaur jigsaw close to my baby cribs.
Oh.
So I was just like looking at that and staring at that, and maybe the dinosaur sort of hypnotized me. So then I became obsessed with that afterward. Yeah.
So how obsessive are you with dinosaurs actually?
Yeah, well, my parents showed me a picture of me when I was a kid recently. I was wearing a dinosaur suit as well. Different color, different style.
So
but
that was like foreshadowing you yourself of today.
Right, and I put that picture in my slide, like, okay, same path, let future me is like this, right? So so I really loved dinosaur when I was growing up. I had a lot of dinosaur toys, and I was begging my parents for more, like, oh, can I have another dinosaur, please? And my parents actually was quite smart because they said, well, you need to do something that is like an achievement. You either need to do study well in school, or you need to do a project, or you need to like do something good, like do a chore or something. So dinosaur became my incentive for learning.
Yeah,
and
not candies or anything.
No, not
dinosaurs
candy.
only.
Dinosaurs only. And that's actually a phrase. When my mom took me to like a store or department store, they would ask, "Is there anything dinosaur?" That's the common phrase that I say. Yeah.
And now you get to combine all your love together. Yeah. So now we have Dr. PP, who is, I would say, the best person to talk to if you want to know more about AI these days.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah. You've got that credit to yourself because people always invite you to give a talk about AI.
Right.
And that's still your like routine everyday life right now, right?
A little bit. I mean, my main role is to do research, but I think when I get the chance to share, what I've been researching and what I've been discovering, and also, things that we are inventing for the future of human AI interactions, I find that very, fulfilling.
Yeah.
I think part of being a scientist is you get to sort of discover a new knowledge, right? Not just reading about it or just like, researching about it, but actually inventing something that people, can have in the future, or discovering some fundamental knowledge that will change the way that we think about ourselves as a human and also our place in the universe. I think that sounds a little bit grand, but but that's
it is grand.
But I think that's what the scientist is about. Is about that sort of bravery and the curiosity to kind of go into the unknown.
Well, that's the best idea. I'm a big fan of Star Trek, and it always talk about how we go like to the
place
unknown and beyond.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and
to the place no man has ever been before.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what scientists do. Yeah, just to help us at least imagine how far can we go into the future and to the unknown.
Hopefully the ethical kind of future as well. Otherwise, we might end up in a dystopia or the kind of future we don't want to have.
That is so important.
Right.
Yeah. Well, coming to comedy, we cannot not talk about English.
Right.
So that's our thing, right? And your English is excellent, like super
I
fluent.
Hope so.
Yeah.
I had a little jet lag, so I hope I don't disappoint you. I was a little worried.
I think that even helps, right? Jet lag a little bit, and you feel kind of like, and that would help with the fluency.
I guess. well, people tend to say that I speak very fast.
Yeah.
And I, skip a few words and then like just, go into the next thing. Sometimes, it's like, but I think maybe having a jet lag, like, I mean, speed in a normal speed.
Just bring down a little.
Slower.
Okay. So how was your English before you go to the US?
Yeah.
Like the first time you went to Oregon, right? To get your education?
Right.
Oh, as the exchange student?
Right.
Okay.
I want to see, what it's like to be, a student in the US. Because like, as someone who grew up with science fiction, right? When the alien come in with the UFO, they don't kidnap Thai prime minister.
No.
They kidnap the US president.
Yeah.
Right?
Always the White House and, the US.
Exactly. So that's where the tech is, right? That's where all the thing happen.
Yeah.
So you want to be a scientist, you need to be, where the aliens are, right? So that for me was like my imagination at that time. Like, okay, I'm going to go to this place. I'm going to get kidnapped by aliens. Well, maybe not that kind of aliens, but other kind of aliens. But but then, it was really interesting because Oregon was not like I imagined at all. It was like, full of forests and, very green and, nothing futuristic or nothing, about alien at all.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Yeah, there were like a lot of legends there around the town that I live in. So it was very, very different.
Yeah.
But before that, my English was, I think it was like normal Thai, kids, right? Like we learn in the school, but I think I was fortunate because in my school there is this thing called Sound Lab where you get to go and listen to sort of English conversation and then practice with the computer. Actually, that's the first time I encountered like Macintosh as well, and then I became the follower of Steve Jobs' cult after that because of the Sound Lab in my high school.
Because it's another level, right? For Macintosh or for like Mac in those days. It's like, this is not even like the
pre-iPhone era.
Typical computer that we use. And this is like something next level.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Even though you spend most of your time like in the green in Oregon, it says here that you got to work with NASA at one point.
Right.
Yeah. And this is like later. Years back, later, right?
That was later on when I was at MIT already.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. We can talk about that when that happened. Yeah.
All right. So besides Sound Lab, right? What else do you use to improve your English?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when I was a kid, I think my parents, they know that I want to do, science and I want to go to the US. So they've been saying that I should pay more attention to English. But, actually doesn't like English at all. I say it's like an artificial thing. It's not like science where it's natural and like real, like English is like human constructed. Like it's like socially constructed thing. Like why do we need to follow all these stupid rules? Like why do you need to like change the verb and subjective and adjective and all these things? Like, why like we have more important thing to do than just like changing the verbs, right? So my parents were not very successful in actually like trying to get me to be excited about English. I always hate them. But actually, I think my English started to get better when I started to work on projects when I was in high school. I started to do science project. And I worked with my mentor, who was a professor in Thai University. But she was educated in the US or in the UK, I can remember. So she was like a person who would study abroad. And when I talked to her during this sort of science project period, she always like texts me in English. and that actually allowed me to actually communicate in English like in real life, and I start to chat a lot because I was passionate about my projects, right? So I think that actually what get me hooked into like studying English is because I want to communicate my research and do the thing that I want to do. So I think for me like personalized learning, like connecting what you care about to what you want to learn, I think is really, really important because like you would not think of it as learning because you are like actually using it in real life for what you like, right? So yeah.
Okay, so let's jump right into this section that we would call one word or more.
Okay.
We're going to be talking with PP ไปทีละคำ
Okay,
So to
yes.
get to know you a
Yeah.
little better. So tell us one word that you say all the time. Do you have words like that? คำติดปาก
Yes. I think the word that I say a lot these days is the word flourishing.
Flourishing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's a word that I think people don't usually associate it with technology, right? We associate like productivity or like
So something organic?
Yeah, but flourishing I
flourish.
think is like about like growth, human development.
Right.
Right. And I think that's really important, especially when we talk about AI and technology these days, because we don't want to sort of have humanized technology, but dehumanize human, right? We want technology to help us flourish as a human being, not, the other way around.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the flourishing is very important. And I think I talk about that a lot, especially, what should be the ultimate goal of technological development? Is it productivity where we become like, a machine, a kind of machine that, get faster and faster? Or are we going to become like, a more flourishing human, right? These are choices that technologists need to make.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Give us one thing that you miss so much from your childhood in Pattani.
Oh,
You mentioned
wow.
you're from originally
yeah.
from Pattani, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that I just had this morning.
Yeah?
Dim sum.
Dim sum.
Yeah.
Oh, they're known for that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, Pattani
okay.
is a place where there's a lot of culture. There's like Chinese culture, Islamic culture, Thai, Buddhism culture. All of these intersect. And that's why it was a really, really beautiful place when I grew up. And it's known for dim sum.
Yeah.
I remember like every morning, on Saturday or Sunday, my parents always take me to like the Chinatown part. And we always have like the best dim sum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had it this morning,
Wow,
coincidentally.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us one nerdy habit that you've always had since you were very, very young?
Nerdy habit.
Do you have a lot of those?
Yes.
Okay.
I try to think which one is the nerdiest. But one I remember when I was, first became the follower of Apple, cult, I always check Apple website every morning to see what is the new thing that come out, what Steve Jobs said, things like that. So I follow, Apple very closely. At that time, at that time, I think people in Thailand doesn't actually like follow Apple as much.
Right.
But I want to wear like Apple t-shirts, so I asked my parents to go like custom made that for me. So I became like the salesperson or like the representative of Apple,
the brand ambassador.
the unofficial brand ambassador of Apple in Thailand.
Yeah. And still today?
I think so. I still use Macintosh, but maybe less so. Steve Jobs already passed away. Right? I still love him. I love all his wisdom. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I think his influence is gonna outlast him like for a very, very long time in the future.
But the
too.
Gen Z people don't remember him
Really?
anymore. Yeah, like they think of like Sam Altman or Elon Musk.
Oh yeah.
Right, like younger generation, right?
They have their own heroes
I see.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But he still lives forever in
Yeah.
our heart. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One species of dinosaur
Okay.
that you think resemble you the most, like have the similar like
Spirit?
traits or characteristics somehow.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little nerdy, but I would
Yeah.
say Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the name already suggests spine, right? So I'm wearing something
Right.
that kind of like that.
Yeah,
But Spinosaurus spine is a little different. It's more like a fan, like expanded. Like it was in Jurassic World recently.
Like.
Not this one.
Not
the
this one.
No, the one like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The one that was in the ocean that was chasing after the boat.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's aquatic.
It's semi-aquatic.
Oh, semi-aquatic.
But the reason I love Spinosaurus is because, over the course of scientific discovery, the way that people think about Spinosaurus like changed so much. People thought of it as like T-Rex in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they have new sort of evidence, a new fossil, and then they realize, it's actually more like a crocodile, like it walked with the four
I see.
limbs.
Okay.
And I think that's, to me, like that's the beauty of science. Like you disprove something, and then you have more insight.
Yeah.
So to me, I think Spinosaurus like really capture like the cool dinosaur, but also the spirit of science.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
So new discoveries like all the time.
New
And
discoveries.
we can keep like rediscovering
Right.
things over and over.
Hopefully
so
we get closer to the truth, right?
yeah. So it seems to me like nothing is like finite.
Definite,
Nothing is
yeah.
like definite.
Right.
Right.
I think that's the beauty of science is
Yeah.
that you can disprove the past, disprove your elder, but in the way that are scientific and rigorous, right? So you don't just being, disprove people
Yeah.
or go tell people that they're wrong because you are like,
This
you
is
think
what
you're
I
better.
think.
No, it's not like that. It's
Yeah.
because of the discovery and the evidence, right? Yeah.
Okay, so another hero of yours from your childhood, Doraemon.
Right.
If you can get one magic gadget from Doraemon, it is actually not magic, right? Because it's not
technological.
magic. It's technological. It's
Right.
not magical. So one gadget from Doraemon that you wanted for yourself.
It's always clear for me.
Yeah.
Time machine.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
that
you
makes
have a time
sense.
machine. You can do anything, right?
Right.
You can go to the past. You can go to the future. You can fix your own mistake, all the different things. So
Yeah.
time machine, I think, is like the ultimate gadget.
So would you actually go back and fix your own mistakes?
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah?
That's it's kind of interesting, right? Because maybe you fix your own mistake. Maybe you create new mistake that you never
Yes.
want, right?
Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah, maybe that would be like opening a new can of worms.
Right.
And
New
unnecessarily.
new kind of space worm.
Yeah, space worms.
Yeah,
Oh, I like
yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah.
All right. An app or more that you use all the time that is on your phone.
Calendar app. And to be honest, I have many calendar apps.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because some are good for like certain time zone, and then some are like good for like you can switch time zone. Some are good for like comparing different, calendar. So
Yeah.
as my email app, I have like 2-3 email apps.
Really?
Because some are really good at composing, and then some are really good at like viewing and browsing.
Okay.
So I have multiple email apps and multiple calendar apps, and I keep checking at different of them because they're not well integrated.
Okay.
That's the challenge.
So honestly, I expected something like more advanced when like coming from you. Like it is something like
ChatGPT,
very simple and plain,
Yeah.
but very like we cannot live without them too,
no.
right?
I think it's something so basic that is the
Yeah.
most powerful.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I still, like, and also as my, professors at MIT and many of my colleagues, they're still struggling with like email and calendar. I mean,
Okay.
we have AI. It should be more advanced, but sadly, that
Still.
hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You've mentioned MIT a couple of times. So tell us, is there any one person from MIT that has been most inspiring to you?
There are many amazing people at MIT that had inspired me, but one person in particular is my mentor, Professor Patty Mars. I discovered her when I was in high school, and I was in Oregon actually. I watched her TED Talk, and her TED Talk was like one of the most watched TED Talk ever. It was her presentation on the technology called the Sixth Sense. Not ghost spirit or
Okay.
anything, but the Sixth Sense in the sense of at that time she invented this thing called wearable projector that you can project like relevant information anywhere. Like like I can pull my hand and then you see information on my hand, and then I can just use my body.
So
as
you don't need a screen.
You don't need a screen.
Okay.
You can use your body or things around you as an
A wall.
interface.
Okay.
Right. It became sort of the precursor for augmented reality and smart wearables. Right. So it was groundbreaking at the time, and when I watched it, I realized that what I've seen in science fiction is no longer, just a science fiction. People at MIT actually like making this a real thing. So I was sort of, I was inspired to like reach out to her and like say that I want to be here, I want to be there and be her student.
Okay.
And at that time, when I was in high school, I sort of made a little gadget inspired by her TED Talk, like putting like an old projector that my high school had, and some computer, some camera together to create like something similar. And then send it to her, and then Patty reply. It's like a message from God, because he's like my hero. Like it's like your K-pop idol reply to you.
Yeah.
For me, Patty was kind of someone like that.
Wow.
And then after that, we get in touch, and then I became her mentee, and she
Yeah.
became my mentor. Like mentor Lugate, Yeah, but she was really really awesome.
So
And,
what's
yeah.
she like in person? your first impression of
She's
her when
bigger
she
than
actually
life,
yeah
right
okay
no I mean when you watch her TED talk she's like really bigger than life because her aura her presentation she was also the advisor of Steve Jobs back then as well very very cool person but when I get to meet with her she's actually very down to earth and like a normal person like she washed her own dishes which is like not something I expect but she actually said that when she watched her dishes is like how she meditate and come up with new idea because otherwise you'll be working or doing something that are like highly technological but when you watch your dishes you became a normal human and then you think okay what technology can I build to help other human right not just someone who are like specialized or an expert but an everyday human and I think that's how she became so grounded and so thoughtful
Actually, that's one chore that I enjoy, washing dishes.
Really?
Yeah. And so I get that she says that washing dishes is her meditation. Yeah, because I kind of feel the same way too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
It's interesting because I get that sense a little bit, but if you have too many dishes, then it starts to become a little bit problematic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Tell us one thing that your future you said to you, and it kind of changed the way you see life forever.
Oh, wow.
Tell us about future you first.
Okay. So, because I love time machine, I really want to build like a time machine.
Yeah.
So when you're at MIT, you can, as part of my PhD program, right, I can invent whatever and do things that are hopefully impactful for humanity. So one project that I work on is called Future You. It's an AI simulation of your future self so that you can talk to like an older version of you. Like you take a time machine to see like 60 years old version of you, right? So that's what I built. And yeah, I've been using it. And one of the things that is kind of interesting for me was when there are two futures that like, still stick with me. One was I simulate a version of myself that is alcoholic and did not finish MIT. Like I became too drunk and then like drop out.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God. I don't even drink, So that future becomes super like surreal, like wow.
So alternate universe
of me.
In the older version too.
Yeah, so that one is like, I never imagined myself drinking, let alone being like an old drunk person. So that was a surreal experience.
Okay.
And then the other one was when an older version of me tell me that in that future, my parents are no longer around when they're when I'm 60, right? Which kind of makes sense because my parent would, live like 120 years old or something like that by that time. But it's kind of, this is something that you expect, right? Like, at some point your parents may not be around anymore. But when you hear that from an older version of yourself, it kind of make it real and put you in like a kind of weird perspective. And I think that's why it sort of stunk with me. Like every time I come back to Thailand, I try to sort of spend more time with my family and with my mom.
Wow.
Sometimes we still disagree, like my parents and I, we disagree on stuff. But, I try to think of that and try to sort of, be closer to them.
Okay. Well, this is cool. And is this something that everybody can just go and use?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we just finished a big experiment. We had like people from 190 countries using Future You. And now we're working on a new version that we're going to launch soon.
Wow. Okay. Well, what's going to be different for this new version?
Yeah. So in the previous version, we were texting. And then you see an older version of yourself. But this new version that we're working on, you can actually have a video call with your future self.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Zoom call with an older version of you.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, we can't wait.
Okay.
I want to
We'll see what
even
happens.
an older version of me. Yeah. And this is like before the idea of multiverse becomes very popular from Marvel, of course, right?
Yeah, this is pre-ChatGPT as well.
Yeah. Wow. So cool.
Thank you.
Just launch it. Sooner.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
We're working hard on it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, can you tell us one thing that you're super addicted to besides using AI, I suppose? Yeah.
Eating shabu.
Really?
Yes.
You're a shabu guy.
I'm a shabu guy. During the pandemic, I actually bought a shabu pot to have it for myself during the pandemic. I still have it in my room. It was interesting. I'm really addicted to hot pot and shabu. Not the spicy one. I like the one that is like a little bit sour.
Oh, not the mala one?
Not the mala one.
Okay.
Yeah. The kind of Korean and then Japanese one.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How addicted are we talking about? Like every day?
Every week I need to go once.
Okay.
I think in the US it's kind of rare for people to go to shabu every week.
Okay.
Right? But I think that's what I do. And I think I'm getting a little fat because of that.
Well, shabu, yeah, that's a very social kind of meal. But actually, you can like have it by yourself.
Shabu by yourself is
shabu
really
by
cool.
yourself is a trend. It's very trending. I've seen it like on social media, and a lot of places like start to have like the solo station.
Solo shabu.
Yeah, solo shabu for
that could be a
their
good
own station.
hashtag solo shabu. I should have that on my laptop. Solo shabu.
Solo shabu. Okay. All right. One word of quality or trait that you always find in your dream colleague.
In my dream colleague.
Yeah. Someone that you love working with. They always have this quality. What is it?
I like the quality of surprising. I want people to surprise me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a good way.
I was going to ask.
Yes.
Okay. So not too predictable.
Not too predictable. Like someone, especially like now as a professor, I want my, student and researchers that I work with to sort of surprise me with things that I never thought of before. And I think like surprise is more than inspired, right? I think inspired, like, okay, cool, I'm inspired by this, but surprise take it to another level. And I want people to surprise me with like ideas that are so crazy that I never even think about or think that is possible. I think that's the MIT spirit.
Wow. We should put that in our classify because we're actually looking for a new team member at committee.
Okay.
So, wow. Yeah, someone who can surprise us. That would be such a great quality to have. Yeah.
Positive surprising, right?
Positive surprising. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because we're looking for someone who is very passionate about English. And of course, if you want to help Thai people achieve their dream of using English to improve their life, you're our guy. So just come and work with us.
Right.
Do you know anybody like that? Maybe you can
I need to think about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I will surprise you.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk with Dr. PP about AI, his thing. All right. Okay. So, what is one AI question that you feel it doesn't add to a conversation these days anymore, and you kind of wish that people would stop asking already?
Well, I mean, as a professor and a scientist, I don't think there are any like dumb question. I think all questions are valid. But I think one question that maybe we can sort of move beyond or think deeper about is whether the AI will replace human or not. I think these are questions that I think everyone asks.
Yeah.
But I think it's a valid question. It's an important question, especially if you're like a young person trying to find a job and navigate this complex world, right? But I think the reason that I want people to go beyond this is because when you say replace human, there are many kind of human. There's no one singular human, right? And then when you say replace, it's also like, to some degree, to what extent does it replace you, right? Maybe it can do something for you, or maybe it can, do something that maybe make you or challenge you to do something bigger or better, right? So for me, I'm kind of more interested in the question of augmentation rather than the word replacement. Like, can technology help you be a better version of you and do something that you never imagined is possible? And I think that to me is a question we should be asking, because if you think about replacement, we have always been replaced by something, right? Like in the past we ride a horse, now we had a car, right? But we never stopped walking. Or in the past, we had like a writing, right? We have like language, like English, what we are talking about right now. Without English, we will not be able to communicate complex ideas. But at the same time, it also might make our sort of mind like remember a little bit less, because we can write things down on our note or on paper, right? We're externalizing our mind. But it's never a complete replacement. It's always an augmentation. It's always changing. The world's always changing. So I think this question, if we transform it, rather than whether the AI will replace you or not, we should ask whether the AI will enhance you or augment you in what way. Maybe that would be a productive conversation we should have as a society.
Yeah. But it's also very understandable why they ask those questions, because they are concerned, and they're worried, and they're scared even to become something that is meaningless, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're living in this sort of transitional period, right, where things are a little bit sort of like not settling, right? Things are still sort of in the mix, right? We don't know what's going to happen. And I think the dystopian narrative like sell very well. If you make people scared, they're going to pay attention to you.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that's why I think the question of the positive question are the one that I think is more productive. Because when you get people scared, they cannot do anything, right? They're in this sort of like...
They're paralyzed.
Right.
And they're
like the deers in headlight, right? Like we're like, oh, yeah.
Right.
So I think we move beyond that as a collective and really think about, okay, how can we help people, especially people that are underprivileged, to be augmented, to be, empowered, to flourish, right? Then I think that's a kind of question that I think will elevate everyone.
Yeah, that is way better
Right.
question to ask and talk about these days.
Totally.
Right. Okay. So, what is one thing that you really want people to understand better about AI from your perspective? Because, well, you of course know a lot more than us.
Right. Well, for me, I always use the word human AI interaction, right? Not just AI itself, because when you think of AI itself, you're like, oh, AI is getting smart, then what's about me, right? But when you put the human in that conversation, you're asking, okay, if AI is powerful, can I be augmented and use this to even create more value, right? Like, we as a human should be augmented, not be replaced by this system. So I've always emphasized the IA, not the AI.
Yeah.
So IA is the intelligence augmentation. And I think the question is always, going back to what we said earlier, how do we help people, become smarter? Because even if you have powerful technology and but you don't have your own intelligence, you won't be able to judge whether the AI give you the correct answer or not, right? We see this in many cases where, AI generates something that seems good because you don't have the expertise. But once you cultivate your own intelligence, you'll be able to use the technology in a way that actually further your thinking, right?
Yeah. And as they say, when you get scared of something, instead of running away from it, just get closer to it and educate yourself about it. So you have a better understanding. And that way your fear kind of diminish, right?
Yeah, that's a wisdom that I always think about from Marie Curie, the great scientist.
Yeah.
She said that nothing in life is to be feared, it's only to be understood. And then when we understand more, we become fearless.
And now that you have studied and worked closely with AI, do you have any fear left at all about the AI issue?
Well, I'm not fear of artificial intelligence. I'm more afraid of artificial stupidity. Yeah. Well, I mean, if technology is getting better, we as a human need to get better. Otherwise, we will not know how to use this powerful technology.
Okay.
We will use these powerful technology in the most stupid way possible, like creating war, fake news, misinformation that led society astray, right? So, I think artificial stupidity should be what we're afraid of.
And that can be prevented by understanding more about how you can use AI to augment.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if people say, well, AI is so great, I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to think anymore. I'm just going to delegate completely to AI. That's when we have artificial stupidity. Right? That's when we, no longer are in control because we don't have the mental capacity to do so.
Right.
So I think, what we need to prevent is not AI, but artificial stupidity. It's us. From, let technology like take over our life. Like we need to flourish with technology, not the other way around.
Yeah. So human and technology coming together. And I think one of the clearest picture that has ever been painted is like cyborg, right? Because organic and like technology coming together and combined. So what actually is cyborg, and does it look anything like what we've seen from the science fiction?
Well, it's gonna be nerdy. Because I love cyborg. And my favorite
Lay it on us. Okay.
My favorite kind of cyborg is of course the cyborg dinosaur. Right?
No wonder.
Well, I mean, it's really powerful, right? You have power of biology, power of dinosaur, and then power of technology coming together. Right? So cyborg dinosaur is going to be amazing. But going back to the word cyborg itself, this word is I would say this is kamnidi for me. This is the ultimate word for me. I even use it in my research group, my research lab at MIT. It's called Cyborg Psychology Research Lab. And the reason is because I think the word cyborg is really amazing and beautiful. It's the term that was actually invented in the scientific context before it enters science fiction. So in a way, it was a scientific term before it became this sort of imaginary thing that we see in like movies and cartoon and things like that. So cyborg came from cybernetics organism. And then you shorten the word together, right? Cybernetic is the study of systems that are sort of interacting with other things. Like, when human interact with the environment, we change ourselves, we steer around. When robot interact with the environment, it sort of, adjusts based on the feedback, right? So cybernetic is the study of this sort of control and feedback loop, where things responding to other things. So when you combine that with the word organism, which is living being, right? You're talking about technology that are responding to the human body in the sense that is so intimate, like technology is another organ. So the word cyborg, describe that phenomena where you have technology so intimately connected with a person and form this sort of symbiotic relationship.
Right. Yeah. So it's like simply put, half human, half robot?
Half human, half technology.
Okay.
But the but is technology should function as an organ. It should be organic, right? If you need to keep checking on technology, you are a slave to a technology, not augmented by a technology.
I see.
Right? So that was the original vision that was put in the first paper that described the word cyborg. It was coined by it's going to be very nerdy. It was coined.
Oh, we love nerdy here.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
It was coined by two scientists, Manfred Klein, Nathan Klein, in 1960, almost 10 years before Apollo 11.
Ooh.
They describe human as a cyborg because of space exploration. That if human gonna go live in space, we cannot bring our home with us, right? We need to augment ourselves so we can breathe in the outer space. And that's why they have this term to describe this technological organ that will allow human to live anywhere. And the most beautiful thing about this paper is that they have a vision of what the cyborg would mean. And they said the purpose of cyborg is not to make human into a machine or turn human into a robot, but to use this technology to help human be more human than ever. I got goosebumps a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate more? Like how would have technology or have like all the robot thing help us be more? Because actually it will become a half of us or a part of us.
Right.
So how can we be more human that way?
That's a really good question. I think in the original vision, they're thinking of using this technology to do the repetitive task. Like if you need to do something repetitively, like, checking on your email or whatever, and you have this technology that work in the background so that you focus on like big important question, then it's kind of like your heart, right? Your heart always beating. You don't need to go check like, is it still working, right? It's always doing it naturally so that you can, be free. That's actually the other part that it was in that original vision of the cyborg is that the technology will free human to think, to create, and to feel.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So we can do other tasks or more important tasks more.
Right.
Not having to be worried about other like menial or something that we can
repetitive.
Repetitive. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But I think it's kind of funny because when we have AI, right, people worry that we are end up doing the menial task and let the AI do the creative part.
Yeah.
Not the other way around, which I think is a problem.
Okay.
So I think when we have human plus AI, if we want to become cyborg, then we really need to think about what value do we hold as a human and what we can delegate to technologies to let us be more human.
Yeah, because right now I'm imagining myself like having like the robotic part of my body, and that is very possible. Maybe in a not so far future, right? If I need, I can like replace my arm with the bionic one or something like that.
Right.
And
we have extra hand to help with shabu.
Oh, okay.
We can have cyborg shabu.
Like cater to your need.
Right. 3 arm. One is like dipping the sauce. One is like cooking.
So to you, this is not science fiction at all. So this is very possible.
Right. Okay. Well, so my research group focused on cyborg psychology.
Okay.
So bringing this concept with the study of the human mind, right? That's what psychology is about. So we're studying how can we use technology to help human think better, like think more clearer, think about the future in a more vivid way. Like the Future You project is an example of using technology to help you imagine something that is harder to imagine. Right? The future self is like unimaginable for many people. So that's the kind of cyborg psychology that I'm studying.
Yeah, we've actually looked into some of your talks and what you have written, and we have found a lot of interesting words that I want to ask you about.
Let's do
even
that.
more.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one. Right. What is it? Okay, artificial stupidity. Okay, you have mentioned this.
Right.
Okay, tell us more about how can we not be like more stupid because of the technology or
Well, I think, the word artificial stupidity is like in response to artificial intelligence, right? We always say, well, technology is going to get us, more intelligent, AGI, artificial general intelligence, or ASI, artificial super intelligence, right? But what I'm afraid of is we're going to get artificial super stupidity.
Okay.
ASS.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Well, I think because many of people that develop technologies, right? Sometimes their incentive doesn't align with individual, right? Maybe they want to sell more advertisement. Maybe they want to sort of shape your intention to vote for a certain candidate in politics, right? Maybe they have hidden agenda in mind. So they will use technology to manipulate you or make you do something that are not actually good for yourself.
Okay.
And in many cases, I think that could be, somewhat stupid because
sounds very evil too.
Exactly.
Not just stupid. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. But I think if you don't have that sort of immunity, right, then that would be the result that your intelligence might go down. You may stop thinking about the world, stop worrying, stop being creative, stop being human, and then be reduced into some kind of machine or data point.
Yeah.
Right.
Like immunity, that's a good word because we need to develop that. We need to build that. And maybe this is something else that we might develop our immunity for.
Right.
Because it could be very addictive.
Right.
Even me, I cannot imagine like there's no day at all in a week that I don't use AI in my work and as my companion.
Right.
Yeah. So how can we make sure that this is not going to happen to us?
Well, I think the word addiction doesn't always mean like doing more or doing a lot, right? People can do a lot of things. Like we always like breathing, like we are not addicted to breathing, right? Breathing is natural for us.
Yeah.
Or, we don't addicted to drinking water, right? When we drink water every day.
No, we need
right?
that.
We need that. I think there's certain kind of usage of technology that are actually good and help you think further. But I think when it become an addiction is when it have negative impact on you. Like that it lead you to sort of have lower quality of life or that you cannot function normally because you're always addicted to this thing, right? So I think for me, that's what I mean by addictive intelligence is a system that designed to get you addicted to it. Like, gambling or corruption or something that is really corrupting your
soul. That you feel
soul.
like you cannot live with that.
You cannot live with that. Like it's corrupting your soul and your spirit. Yeah.
And actually there's the phenomenon that is happening that people kind of start to think that, now that I have AI, there's a time in the past that we are okay, sort of, not having an answer for something.
Right.
But right now, that's not going to happen because we have AI. So we kind of have answers for everything now.
Right.
And people tend to think that, okay, intelligence is very easy to come by and very easy to achieve. So there's nothing at all in the world that we cannot understand anymore.
Or cannot get about, right? Yeah.
And is that scary to you?
Well, I think the question is what are you doing with that information, right? Because getting an information, you can already do that with Google. You can Google almost anything, right? Or even before that, people can, ask other people for help on another thing, right? The question is what do you take? What do you do with that information? Because information doesn't always lead to augmentation.
Yeah.
Some information is even misinformation, right? And that's what we get sometimes from AI as well. So I think the question we need to ask ourselves is how do we use this technology and what is it helping us? We should not ask what technology can do, but what it is doing to us. I think that's a key question.
Yeah. And also to me, what's very scary, it's when it's false. Because we kind of trust more and more with our AI that it can deliver whatever, right? But sometimes what they deliver is not correct.
Totally.
And we kind of believe that already that, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is legit.
Yeah.
Because it's from AI. How
Right.
could that not be real?
But that's why what I said is like, you need to cultivate human intelligence as well as cultivating artificial intelligence. Because if you don't have your own internal intelligence, how would you validate whether the AI is good or not?
True.
Right? When AI generates something low quality and you don't know how to evaluate that, then you will use that in your work and that will not get you far.
You need
right?
to be able to call that out. Like,
You need to be able to call that out.
Maybe this is not it.
And steer it in a way that create value for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, another thing that is very addictive is like, oh, ChatGPT is my best friend.
Yeah.
And this is because they say all the right things, all the things that make us feel good.
Right,
Even they
right.
always like give us compliment.
Right.
Did it happen to you? Like, oh, that's a great idea.
Right.
โอ้เก่งมากเลยครับ
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So yeah, of course, we love hearing that.
Right.
And we start replacing this our friends with
Right.
this.
Totally.
Yeah, because maybe our friends are mean to us.
Right. Or challenge us.
Yeah, or challenge us.
Especially our parents.
True. And this guy never ever question or
Right.
challenge us.
Well, you can also make it challenge you. There's some kind of character on this sort of AI platform that be mean to you if you want it to, right?
Okay.
But I think the danger here is that it always do what you want it to do. If you want it to challenge you, it will challenge you. If you want it to be mean to you, it will be mean to you. We call this sycophantic. Yeah,
Okay.
there's another word that is emerging in the AI community called
Okay.
sycophancy,
Okay.
which I think is not just for AI, it's for human as well. It's for people that like ประจบสอพลอ right? Like always say things to get your sort of approval. And I think this can make you kind of, not no longer sort of understanding the reality. Because if you're doing something really bad and the AI says you're amazing, then you start to lose touch with reality,
Yeah.
right? And we've seen many of the, tragic incident happen because of that. When technology give false compliment to people or give like false recommendation, like when people become addicted to AI because of this praise, right? Like that's one thing that my mom always said is like never get addicted to praise, human nor AI. It's gonna lead you, down the negative path because you want to have a constructive feedback, not always having people agreeing with you, right? That's really, really dangerous.
Yeah.
So if technology is doing that, well, not just technology, but if even human doing that, maybe we call that like toxic friend,
I know.
gaslighting, right?
Red flag, right?
Red flag,
Yeah.
totally. AI
Right.
red flag, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of something tragic, so OpenAI has recently been sued
Yeah.
For like allegedly
Yeah.
assisting a teenager to commit suicide.
Right.
Yeah, you've heard about that, right?
Right, but I mean
Yeah.
that's going back to what we said, right? That's sycophancy. If you want to die, it will help you like amazing, go ahead.
Yeah.
Right, that's really dangerous. Or like
Right.
if you want to take drugs and the AI say, go ahead, that's amazing.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
No,
Go
that's
right
not,
ahead.
That's not a great idea, right?
Yeah.
If you have a good friend, they will, let you know when you're not doing the right thing, right? They will be there for you. They will challenge you if you're doing the wrong thing. I think that's what we need in AI and also in human, right? People that keep you accountable.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why you cannot just have AI in your world.
No.
No matter how well you adjust it.
Right.
Right. Because a lot of people still don't know that we
Right.
can adjust
Right.
The AI to like how they would respond
Right.
to you. Yeah. Even you adjust it like the best. You cannot just have AI. You still need human.
You still need your critical thinking and judgment to look at all the things that AI say, right? I think that's really, really important. Yeah.
So, well, AI obviously can help you do a lot of things,
Right.
Including helping you with something that you might never think you could achieve, like understand something that is out of your realm. Like
Right.
for example, I can learn to code easily
Right.
now with the help of AI,
Right.
even though I'm not like เด็กศิลป์สุดๆไม่ใช่
Right.
เด็กวิทย์เลย I
Right.
suck at math and
Right.
I suck at everything science,
Yeah.
right? But I can do that.
Right.
So the hard skills, maybe we can leave that to AI, and school and universities should put more focus on teaching the soft skill.
Right.
Do you agree?
Well, I think people should learn all different skills.
Okay.
Right? I think there's a pleasure in learning. Learning should not be just about the outcome, like, oh, you learn to code because you're going to get a job at Google or Apple or whatever, or OpenAI. But I think, coding, for example, is about thinking systematically. And that is important regardless of what you want to do. I think right now we start to map, oh, you learn this skill so that you become this, or you need to learn this in order to, get promoted. But we start to forget that, the part of being human is to learn, is to experience life through this process of growing and flourishing.
It's the experience itself, not just the outcome.
And the process.
Okay.
Right? So I think to me that's I think the most beautiful thing about being human is that you learn things for the sake of learning. And that will shape your experience. So I think when people ask me, there are a lot of parents that ask me, oh, what should my kids learn to not be replaced by technology? Learning to learn and learning to be curious and be, enjoy the process. I think that's the thing that will always allow us to, venture into new territory. Because technology is going to change. AI will not be the last technology we invent, right? We're going to invent even more crazier technology. And when that arrives, if you follow the process, be curious, learn to learn, then you'll be okay. Because everything can be learned, right?
Yeah. So that way, if the schools or the universities can make the learning experience appealing or enjoyable, I think that would be the best idea because that would teach people how to enjoy yourself and how to enjoy the learning.
Listen to คำนี้ดี podcast for instance, right?
ขอบคุณนะครับขายของเก่งมากครับ Yeah, I agree. That would be the best idea, enjoying the process.
Yeah. And AI could help with that, right? For example, one of the experiment we did was what happened if you use AI to make all the lesson that you need to learn personalized to you, right? What if, I love dinosaur, I could make calculus about dinosaur. I could make grammar about dinosaur. I can make, subject that I don't like be somehow related to dinosaur. And we have shown that improve learning motivation significantly, right? So I think now is the time to learn almost anything. And I think that's how we're going to stay human and be okay in the age of technology.
Yeah, because in this day and age, people could be so they're so impatient about the time they might have to spend in order to excel at something.
Right.
And they could feel they could be so everything's hasty. They need to get to places because they
now,
have
it happened now, right?
Yeah, a lot to achieve. We have to compete with that, and we have to compare with that person. I'm still very, very bad. So yeah, they kind of feel everything is they're in such a haste.
Right.
Yeah, to get to places.
Right.
But maybe slow down and enjoy the process because that would give you the soft skill that you need for life.
Well, what I always often think is if you can do the thing that other people can do, right? All the things that can be done quickly are superficial, right? Because you can do quickly. That means that your competitor or other people can do that too,
True.
right? That you don't have, the advantage or you don't have the sort of the edge over other people because of that. So I think if you want to, be unique and develop something of value, you need to slow down and really reflect and get into some places where other people cannot get to easily, right? Even with AI, we start to see things start to look the same. AI generated images start to look the same. AI generated text start to look the same. Videos start to look the same. Everyone copying everyone else. But when you will stand out if you think more, go deeper, and then do something that is totally new, right? I think that's how you should use technology, is to be different, not to be assimilated into the mainstream.
Well said. I like that a lot. So AI has become very common in our life. So it gets closer and closer, right? So I see the self-driving car. I see the Neuralink, right? So what else can emerge around us?
Yeah. No, totally. Well, I think there are a lot of innovation that are happening in the world, not just AI, right? AI is just the tips of the iceberg. There are a lot of innovation that, are happening across different sectors. But the one that I'm most excited about, I think maybe I will share 3 of them. The first one, I think is an innovation in the field of AI is called mechanistic interpretability. It's a mouthful word.
Okay.
Mechanistic interpretability. It's like an fMRI for AI. So right now when you use AI you don't know where the answer come from you don't know where the information how is it being processed inside the AI but this new research area or this new innovation is like opening up that black box so you can see inside the neurons of the AI and see when the AI answer it this way it's because of these neurons that are being activated in the same way that when you have like brain cancer you can see okay this part of the brain is not working well or when this thing happen you see this part of the brain light up right? So I think for me, this is really exciting because we can get to understand inside the AI. And then we can, I think, hopefully design AI that are maybe less hallucinate, less toxic, and much better, right? So opening up this black box is like a great invention and innovation that are happening right now. That's one. Another one that I'm excited about is actually also from my lab at MIT. It's a new technology that was just, released this morning, actually. It's called alter ego.
Alter ego?
Yeah. Okay. Alter ego means sort of the extension of the self, right? It's a project that was a research at MIT for quite some time now. It's a way to decode the mind without implanting anything. So Neuralink, you need to put a chip inside your head, right?
Yeah, it sounds a little scary.
A little scary.
Yeah.
But here you can actually detect what people are about to say by putting a sensor here. So, before like you can speak to a computer, you can have this sensor that decode your signal. So in a way you can communicate your thought like telepathically without using a word. Wow. And you don't need to put anything inside your brain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just released this morning and it's already had like millions of views online. It's one of the breakthrough, which I think are really exciting because it will allow like people to be able to communicate to technology. Like you can Google in your head or maybe talk to ChatGPT in your head or people that have like paralysis that cannot move their body can control their wheelchair and technology by just using their mind, right? And this can be done non-invasively, which I think is really amazing. And I think the last thing which I'm excited about is synthetic biology. Yeah. Synthetic biology, author word for it is like genetic engineering. We've seen that like recently there was a company that was actually owned by my professor as well that create the direwolf. I don't know if you've seen that one where they use DNA to bring back extinct species.
Oh yeah. I've seen that on the news.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was actually a company of my professor who was on my master thesis committee, George Church. And so I think using genetic engineering, you can bring back extinct species. Now they're doing, direwolf. They're working on mammoth. Hopefully they will do dinosaur in the future.
Yeah, I was about to say like Jurassic Park could become very real.
Dinosaur is more difficult because it's much older. The DNA of the dinosaur had already been degraded.
Right.
But these like mammals, I think we still have some of the tissue sample that was preserved. So I think, to me, that is a really exciting area. Synthetic biology. Well, not just for Jurassic Park, but if you can engineer at the scale of biology, you can make better drugs. You can cure cancer and do many more things. Right? So advancement in synthetic or genetic engineering biology is really important.
But bringing back all those extinct animals, how controversial is it? And do you think personally that it's a good idea?
The argument on both sides. On the pro side, they said, well, this thing was caused by human. Like we in the past we hunt these animals, so they went extinct. So it's our responsibility to bring them back.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, people also argue like, how dare you? You are not God. You cannot judge what to go extinct or what to be alive. Right. So you should not temper or you should not alter sort of the genetic code because that's the code of life.
What
you should
do you
not
think?
play God. For me,
I'm
a scientist. I believe that there's like some aspect that can be good if you regulate it and do it in a certain way, like ทางสายกลาง maybe. But don't do it too crazy in the way that cause another, issue, right? So I think you need to sort of have the balanced perspective.
Like being very cautious.
Be very cautious.
Yeah.
So I mean, we learned from Jurassic Park.
I know.
Dinosaurs always get out, and it will always gonna eat someone. Yeah, right. So that's
เพราะเราก็ดูมาหลายภาคแล้วจบอย่างนี้ทุกภาคเลย
Exactly. Someone's gonna get eaten.
I know.
Someone's gonna get eaten, man.
Right. So talking about controversial, there's one controversial individual that actually we've mentioned a lot of heroes, like Steve Jobs or Sam Altman of these days. Elon Musk.
Right.
Yeah. He's a crazy guy, isn't he? Like,
he's a crazy guy.
A crazy guy.
Right.
Could be in a very positive way and super negative way. So What do you think about him?
It's interesting because I did one project about Elon Musk a while ago. Actually, during the pandemic, we make an AI Elon Musk
Really?
to teach people about vaccine. And we want to understand if when people like the real Elon Musk, would they be affected by the AI Elon Musk? And we found that they are.
Really?
Like if you like Elon Musk, you're more likely to learn better when Elon Musk like teach you about vaccine. So like, if people are fan of this, show and there's an AI of PBIC, then they would learn better as well, right? We show that there is a psychological effect. But at the time, we also see that if you hate Elon Musk in real life, you're also not doing great. You hate Elon Musk, you're going to be...
close your ears.
Right, you close your ears, right? So I think Elon Musk has become this sort of controversial figure, even among technologists, among people at MIT who I think are already crazy. I think because he's not just technologist, he's also a business person, a political figure, and have been influencing many things, right? But I think now people start to think of him more as like a business person, because of his connection with some of the higher up in like the Washington and other places.
Has he gone too far, you think?
I think so. I think he's a little crazy. He's like, we talk about addictive intelligence, right? He definitely, in that category.
Okay, our audience, we have a lot of young people watching the show. We have Gen Z, we have a lot of alphas too. So what if they kind of want, looking at Dr. PP, I want to be just like him. So maybe I want to become a scientist too. What suggestion or advice do you have for those young people watching the show right now?
I would say being a scientist to me is like the greatest career you can have because you are always doing something new. You're always thinking about the future. You're doing something that are helping other people, right? So it's like, all these three things, right? Like the fun of discovery, the joy of like helping each other. I think that's another thing that I learned is that if you're not just thinking about yourself, but thinking about other, you will find pleasure in life because of that. Like the career in service is, really rewarding. But then you combine that with scientific discovery and technology and all the excitement, the time machine, the Doraemon, the dinosaur, that's even more fun, right? You can actually help other people by inventing technology and study what happened with how technology shaped people and come up with ways to help, people, especially like right now, people in the age of AI flourish. So to me, I think being a scientist is really, really special in that way. But, they don't need to be like me, right? Like there's one me that's this weird, but they could be themselves. And I think that's what we
they
should
can be
strive
weird
for.
in other way.
Totally.
In their own way, right?
Totally. But I think about contributing to society and to the collective flourishing of humanity. I think that's something that I think would be, a fun challenge. And I think that's something that AI could not help us with, right? We can be the only person who live our life, right? AI cannot live a life for us. We need to be the one living our own life. So I think, if you're thinking about what to do, just live your own life and do something good for humanity.
And being a scientist, I guess you will never be out of jobs too.
I guess so.
That's a great career to have.
Thank you.
Okay. So what kind of plans do you have for yourself right now?
Well,
or in the future,
Well, a lot of stuff. I mean, even this month, I'm traveling, I think 3 different continents already. And then next month, it's going to get crazier. So
do you love traveling?
I love traveling. But that's another best part of being a scientist is that you get to share your research and people want to know what you're up to, what you're doing in the lab, right? They want to see what kind of projects are you doing and you get to share this, in the academic context or to the public like this one. I think that's another part of being a scientist is you get to travel the world and meet new people and share ideas. What is better than that?
Right? But mostly for work, right? Do you travel for like a pleasure too?
Well, I think for me, it's always combined together. Because for me, science is never about work. It's always about doing something. It's kind of like playing game, right? It's a hard fun. You don't play game because it's easy. You play it because it's hard and challenging. I think people that do science is also the same way. Like we are solving, in the same way that we are solving puzzle in the game, we are solving puzzle in nature, in the world, right? So for me, it's never about work.
And that's one of your best quote today from me already right there. Like you play because it's not because it's easy, but because it's hard and because it challenges you.
Right.
Wow. Okay. All right. You've actually mentioned that cyborg is one of your most favorite word, which is comedy, right? But can you give us maybe some others in Thai, in English?
Well,
what would be your comedy?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I already mentioned the word flourishing.
And flourishing,
Flourishing
yes.
is important. Cyborg is important. Interactions, I think that's another word that I like a lot.
Interesting. Why?
Yeah. Well, because when I say human AI interactions, right, the thing that connect human and AI together is the word interaction. And the reason is because, we don't just use AI, right? The AI are interacting with us in the way that we are interacting with them. So it's the feedback loop. It's the we using them, they're using us. So the question is, how are we using each other? How are we influencing one another? Is AI helping us become a better person and create this sort of spiral feedback loop? Or is it leading us to having artificial stupidity, right? So the word interaction is the key.
Yeah.
What kind of interaction do we have with AI?
That's a great word.
Yeah, interaction.
Do you have any Thai word for us?
Thai word.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, it's funny. So tomorrow I'm giving a presentation at the Racha Bandit.
Okay.
And they coined the term Panya Pradit.
Panya Pradit.
Yeah.
That's AI, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting, right? They use the word Panya, which I think is a really beautiful word.
Right.
Because I think Panya is actually a deeper word than intelligence, right? Because intelligence is like, okay, you have intelligence, you can solve problem, but Panya means you can think in a moral way as well, right? Morality, what is right, what is wrong, and have Panya is really important.
Right.
So Panya, I would say.
Wow. That's a great word too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been an hour already that we've been talking. And I don't think I have had enough. Actually, I want to keep talking to you because it's so much fun. Yeah. And I hope this is not your last visit to comedy.
I hope so. I hope you could bring me back.
Sure. Okay. So you're giving talks, you're traveling, you're sharing your research, and you keep meeting amazing people around the world. I'm jealous of your life. Yeah, that's a great life.
Well, you also have that. You interview so many amazing people.
Yeah, you included, of course.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you so much for coming to คำดีๆวันนี้นะครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
ครับผม
สวัสดีครับ